Hi, honey, how are you? It's Technicolor, and today I thought that we could check out my newest shell challenge submission. This time, the awful gamers, the awful shell. And trust me, this one was awful. So, Sulani is probably one of the very first expansion packs that I ever bought for The Sims 4, which, is kind of fitting because we did have the Little Mermaid challenge, and I I love mermaids. It has nothing to do with my deep obsession for the Little Mermaid. So having this build in Sulani, it just sort of felt perfect. And I really haven't built in Sulani, or I haven't really played anything in Sulani since the Little Mermaid challenge. And being back here in this world, it was very nice. I forgot how much I love this world. And I played for the Little Mermaid challenge. I played in this world for a very, very long time. So it's really interesting to see it from a different perspective because it's so far removed from the Little Mermaid challenge, but also I didn't really stray far when I played the Little Mermaid challenge, so I never actually saw this neighborhood. I feel like island living in Sulani doesn't really get enough love. I know that mermaids are not that interesting compared to some of the other occult sims, or at least so I've heard. I haven't really played with any other occult sims, but there's always going to be a special place in my heart for the mermaids in here. And then also, the very first time that I started playing with mermaids, I had no idea that they did the dolphin noise, and I was so taken aback. Actually, when I was playing the Little Mermaid challenge, I didn't even realize that King Triton had done it after Queen Athena had told him that she was pregnant with their firstborn, Athena. I noticed almost immediately after when Athena went into the kitchen, got herself some potato chips, and then made that noise. God, that's a throwback. I can't believe that the Little Mermaid challenge has been over for quite a while now. I'm going to have to do a video about it and at least post the rules somewhere, but that's to come. That's to come. I really like shell challenges. I'm not the best builder, so if I can do a shell challenge and get better at decorating and sort of understanding how things work within a build, I'd like to do it because I think they're really fun. The Awful Gamer had released his first shell challenge ever, and I really didn't know what to do for it, but I wanted to do it. When I first decided I was going to tackle this shell challenge, I really didn't have any sort of idea what I wanted to do. Originally, I placed this lot in Windenburg and I was going to do a Tudor style build, but it didn't look good. Everything that I tried, it just did not look right. And the shape of it, to me, looked a bit like a boat the more that I looked at it. And I know that there's some boat or ship themed items in Get Together, and I think also in Island Living. So I was like, what if I make it look like a shipwreck or something, or even just a ship? So I thought, what if I make it look like a ship? And my boyfriend, Cinnabon Andy, had actually created for the Little Mermaid Legacy Challenge. He'd made a boat as part of Prince Eric's castle. And I was like, well, I've seen him do that. I can probably make something similar. I know I can't add to the build because it's a shell challenge, but I might be able to get something to work and look similar to a boat since it already sort of resembles it, in my opinion. It didn't look right, no matter what I did. So I was scrolling through debug and I found this shipwreck item and I said to myself, can I make it look as if it is a boat that got shipwrecked? I think it came out really well. I was really surprised. So Alex, or the Awful Gamer, had done shell tours of this shell challenge on his channel. He toured mine and everyone was so kind to me, which is honestly, I have not found anything but the nicest people and the kindest people in the Sims community. I love that I have found this game and fallen in love with it because there's no like competition. It's not like people are fighting to have like the best builds or anything like that. I feel that people genuinely want people to enjoy the game, whether that's gameplay or building or doing things in CAS. Like, I'm not really a create a sim person. I would say I'm more of a gameplay or a build person, but there's just so many people who are like, oh, well, have you tried out this? Or, oh, this looks really nice. I like how you did that. Like, everyone is just so nice, and people also want to share the things that they've learned so that they can grow as well. It's just a really nice community, and The Sims is very inclusive. I'm just so happy that I found this game. But it was so nice to be in the Awful Gamers chat last Sunday and looking at a bunch of the builds that people had created for the Shell Challenge. When they reviewed mine, everyone was just super sweet and everyone liked the build. So it was very nice to have people say kind things about something that you've made, which that's usually the case, but I feel like I'm a little less confident in my builds, I guess. And even though this isn't really a build, it's more of decorating. I don't know. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. I thought it was going to be a little easier than it ended up being. I mean, it is the Awful Shell, so I should have known, but by the end of it, like, this is a very short build, but by the end of it, I was like, is it done? I feel like I didn't put enough in it. So something that I wanted to add in the top part, which is like that little round part that made me think it was a boat. I don't know why. That part, I was like, I'm gonna have like a surprise from the mermaids, as if like the mermaids are the reason why the boat got shipwrecked in the first place. And there's a little underwater sort of like scene. Maybe it was supposed to get shipwrecked in the ocean and stay under the water, and that's why this chest is up there. I got a kick out of putting that chest up there. So obviously there's this long rectangle with the little bump out part of it, and I said to myself, that's where I want to put the bar. So I put the bar in there. I don't think that this will work for gameplay, but I didn't really think anyone would use it for gameplay, although it is on the gallery if you would like to play with it or just look at it. So I decided everything that is part of the smaller groups that are towards the front of the boat, if you will, I was like, we're just gonna make that employee areas because I don't really know what to do with it, and I don't think anyone is actually going to be able to get to those spots the way I built this. That's what we did. So I made the bar area, and then because there is that space behind it, I figured that's where the kitchens could be. So if they have to prepare anything, then below in the basement, I also have some storage, some employee lockers, that sort of thing. And then over on the side, I created this cute little bathroom, and it's very small, but I don't know. I was so happy with the way it came out. For this, I really didn't know what I should do in terms of a lot of the items that are required for a bar, because I've never really built a bar before. And I didn't know if I wanted the jukebox or if I wanted the stereo. And then I saw that we had the Island Living stereo piece. So I said, okay, I'll mount that and that'll be fine. And then after that, it felt as if everything else sort of was just easy to place. So I added in the tables, I added in park benches. Those aren't park benches. I added in, what the hell are those? I added in picnic benches. I added in picnic tables, which I thought were very cute. So in order to get the boat to look the way that it does, I needed to use the tool mod. I'm not very familiar with the tool mod, but I will say, after this shell challenge, I feel like I know how to use the tool mod way better than I ever did before. I think it's a really fabulous tool, and it was very fun to figure out how to get things to work for what I was envisioning. I won't say that it was very easy to understand, but I think I have a way better handle on how to use it now. And I'm less afraid to use it more now in the future. Figuring out what to put in the actual space of the bar was a little bit of a struggle for me. I don't know. I added in these shelves in the back. I'm not really a bar person, so I don't really know what all would be in a bar. So I feel like I don't know if this is a happy medium between the amount of seating and tables versus like dance space. I did the best that I could. You might say, well, Technicolor, you've added in a bunch of walls, but they're actually the tallest half wall size. So with those in there, you're able to sort of fudge things, if you will. So it's one way to get around not being able to make walls, but I also did it with very intentional reasons. So I added above on the top of the ship, like the sort of like railing, but then I also had in this little area where the employee station is to make it look as if it's like one building and it's just like interior rooms instead of open, which it is in the shell. I think it came out well. I wasn't entirely sure if I should use these bar tables or if I should use picnic tables or even just not that many tables in general. So once I added in the picnic tables, it felt as if there was way more space. Because before, when I just had the bar tables and the chairs, it felt like this is turning into a cafe. Like it's just seating now. Making the little kitchenette in the employee area was also a little bit of a struggle because it's such a small space. I wanted there to be an area where they could prepare food on the counter, but I also wanted to have it look nice and as if it wasn't just a kitchen, it was like part of a bar. But also, I don't think that you can actually play in this, so I don't know that it really matters. Also, I hope you all don't mind, but I kind of take these shell challenges as a way for those of you who just follow my YouTube and maybe don't come to streams or might miss these sort of conversations on streams, but I like to share some personal news. I think it's kind of fun to hang out with all of you and just like chat about this sort of stuff. So I hope you don't mind. So this past weekend, I met up with a couple of friends of mine. Two of them I've never met before, but I know very well from Twitch and YouTube. So one of this couple is Dare Bear. So I know Dare Bear through my friend Chibi Pie, but it gets very strange. It's a really small world. So Chibi Pie, I met in college, and weirdly, she went to high school with my boyfriend. Like, what are the odds of that? Chibi Pie, her sister is like besties with our friend Dare Bear. So it was like really weird. And one of Chibi's family members had created, when Animal Crossing New Horizons had released, this sort of Discord group where we could all like talk about turnip prices and just things that we've explored in the game. And she invited me to it. And I ended up having one of the people from that Discord over on my Animal Crossing island, Cabot Cove. And he stopped and was like, wait, are you from Maryland? Because I had a Maryland flag on my island next to one of the houses because I found it and I thought it was really cute as a custom design because my boyfriend is from Maryland. So I said, well, no, I'm not from Maryland, but my boyfriend is. And he's friends with Chibi Pie. He went to high school with her. And then it just like spiraled into this crazy thing because I did not know that Dare Bear had known Chibi that well. And it was just like this whole weird coincidence. I've been friends with Dare Bear for so long now. We've done so many Twitch streams together. So just recently, Dare Bear and a couple of friends of mine had gotten together and done a charity stream, my first charity stream ever, which was really exciting. And we raised close to $800 for Outright International. And it was a really good time, but it was so nice. It was so nice to finally meet Dare Bear and his husband in person because I also know them very well from their YouTube channel. If you're familiar with Disney pin trading, you might actually know them. Spill the Mad Tea Party, and I'll link their channel down below. But it was just like so fun to meet up with them. I went with my boyfriend, Cinnabon Andy, who you'll know from streams, and our friend Kiptid, who had run this charity stream with us. It was actually really nice. We went to this Hell's Kitchen restaurant, and the food was really good and like way bigger portions than I was expecting. But it was just so nice to meet up with friends who you've been friends with for so long, but have never actually met in person. And then before that, we went and we saw Elemental because we wanted to be in the sort of area a little bit earlier. And that movie was so good. I won't say that it's on the level of, say, Luca or anything like that, but I had a really good time. And y'all, the theater, there were not, it wasn't packed, but there's a moment, without spoiling anything, there is a very emotional moment, and I was like, I cry easily, but I was like, I do not want to cry during this movie. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry because there's like nobody in this theater. It's gonna be weird. And then there was like this woman like sobbing like towards the front of the theater, and then like that got everyone else emotional. But it was a really, really good movie. And I think if you enjoy that sort of content, I think you would enjoy it. I think you should give it a shot. I also just want to thank the Awful Gamer for doing this. This is his first shell challenge ever, and I thought it was very exciting and very on brand for the Awful Gamer to do the awful shell. I don't know. I think maybe this has inspired me to maybe do my own shell challenge in the future. You never know. You never know. I think it's a little hard to really see what went into these builds when you are zipping around like this. So let's jump into the game and I can show you around a little bit. So I've brought my sim here, and I did not know that these things would pop up here. I don't know if this is normal. I also did not know that the road would be locked off. I don't know if that's usual for this area. Again, I don't think that I've ever actually come to this place in Sulani. But anyway, here is the build. I was not expecting it to look anything like it does. I also really like how the back of it looks, because it looks as if it did actually get shipwrecked. I don't know. It's like partially off the lot, so it's kind of like broken through, and like maybe all of this had grown up here. There's also like, oh, I didn't actually notice that this goes up here, but I don't think there's any room for anyone to get up there, but like, oops. Of course, in here, you can see here is the mermaid's chest, which you're not going to be able to pry it out of there, but that is the mermaid's surprise. Of course, this is just a shell item. You're not even going to be able to like get in there, but down here, you can see there's a bunch of sims in here ready to get served. I don't think that the bartender can actually tend the bar because I don't think that they can, either they can't get through this door or they just can't get through here at all. Oh, somebody's in the bathroom over here too. And then of course in here we have the kitchen spot. I have to say I'm really proud of me using Tool to get these bar seats to like stack on top of each other. I was very excited that I got that to work. And then of course down in the basement there's these lockers, which I guess they don't really look like lockers. I thought I was doing something really cute, and I was like, oh, I think these are from like whatever. Actually, I don't have spa day, so I don't know what these are from. But I said to myself, well, they look like they would be in a spa, but you know, it could also work for like bartenders. Like maybe these are like extra towels down here, like whatever, to like wipe up the bar. But it looks as if this is supposed to be a weird changing room, but it's not. It's just the lockers. And then of course we've got some storage down here. We've got some weird water damage, you know. We do have the bathroom here, which is small but very cute. I have to say, I love these window coverings. I think that they're probably my favorites in the entire game. Although I've only just recently noticed that most of them have like this very floral thing at the top, and I think this swatch doesn't. And it's probably the only swatch I like. Oh, I also should probably say I don't think a mailbox is needed for a bar type lot, but my boyfriend had the idea to put it inside this life preserver and then have the little shell there. I just thought it was really cute. So I included it. This is Shipwreckers. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will catch you in the next video. Bye bye.